What's up, people of the podcast world? It's Angie and Jeff, Hefe, whatever you want to call me. We're here. We're kicking off another podcast. And I was in the red there, so it must have been loud. But we've got our romantic get-up going.
Well, I like the ambiance of a candle. And I think that it's just relaxing and soothing. So I felt like that we should add it to our podcast table. And it has the wonderful aroma of pumpkin. Everything pumpkin spice. That's right. Spice up your life.
Wow.
So I pumpkin spiced up some things today. You want me to tell you about them? Listen, you guys.
I have a feeling you're going to tell me about it, whether I want to know or not.
Yeah. So I feel like you either love the pumpkin spice life or you're like not about it. But
now, wait. Is it pumpkin spice or pumpkin life?
Pumpkin spice.
So pumpkins.
There's a difference.
Okay.
There's a little spice in pumpkin spice. There's a little kick. I think it's cloves. I think it's the cloves that spice it up.
Why don't you just say pumpkin cloves?
No, it's pumpkin spice. Just go with it, okay? It's a thing. Have you been
No,
alive?
I've been. It's really good.
Well, okay. So today I pumpkin spiced my coffee, and I did it the healthy way. Are you interested? You're already yawning.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Okay, so I took my coffee. I added vanilla protein, ready to drink protein, vanilla. Then all I did was took pumpkin spice seasoning that you get in the seasoning aisle. It's like you would get cinnamon in a little thingy.
Right.
It's called pumpkin
the holes in the top. You
pie
shake it.
spice.
Right.
Yeah, I did that, and I added cinnamon, and I added a teeny tiny bit of stevia.
Stevia.
And I stirred it, and let me tell you, it is so good. Now, is it as good as pumpkin spice cream? No, it's not.
Hells no.
But it's better turn that off. It is it's way more healthy. Then I pumpkin spiced up my yogurt. I did the same thing with my yogurt.
Saw that. Very interesting.
Then Greek vanilla yogurt, and then I just did the pumpkin the pumpkin spice seasoning and cinnamon and mixed it together, and it was so tasty. And I had cocoa flavored almonds with it. Healthy.
It's officially fall.
So
up in here.
So we did. We've decorated up our little podcast table with a nice little pumpkin scented candle.
We're all about the fall with our pumpkin stuff and our meat stuff. We got a meat casserole down there.
It's just, I don't know what it is about the
We got
fall. You
freaking
want
chili.
like hearty food. So yeah, Jeff made a killer chili, and it makes so much. It's so nice. You can it made so much that we had friends over last night, a couple, and we all four ate it, and then Jeff's eaten it a couple times, and we still have a lot left. So that's the nice thing. And then I made, fall is time for casseroles. I'm doing lower carb time now for 2 weeks because I can't work out for 2 weeks. So I'm adjusting the way I eat, taking my carbs down, upping my fats a little bit. So we made this bacon cheeseburger casserole. Has bacon, obviously, ground beef, some cheese, some tomatoes. It's just really good.
It's super good.
And it's one of those things where it's better like the next day. Did Brooke just ask you if she could close?
No, she said she's not closing, but they want her to stay till 10.
Oh my gosh.
It's my life.
I need that girl
old.
to be able to drive soon. I'm trying to get there. Ooh, I need to go check for her birth certificate. Anyway, that's beside the point. So there. What's going on in your world? You go ahead and talk. I'm going to look for a birth certificate.
You're going to look for a birth certificate?
Yeah, go ahead and talk. Just give me a second. Go ahead. Talk to the people. I talk all the time.
Yeah, you do. That's why it's like my cruise control. What's going on in my world? Well, it's Monday, and
I found it.
I
I'm back.
work on Mondays. You did find it?
I already found it. I'm back.
Wow, organized. So that's all. I'm going to play golf this week for the second time this year. I played in May. I'm going to play again in
Wednesday
October.
It's supposed to be warm, so you'll be good.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
I'm taking Jeff out to dinner tomorrow night. It's on me.
It's really nice.
It's really on Adelphia, but because I had to complain, I had to be a Karen. I was explaining on my first up, back up. Time out on this story. We will return to the Adelphia story in a second. I was doing my fitness and nutrition live today on TikTok, which I often do. Why do you yawn every time we're on the podcast?
Can't stop. I don't know if it's because I ate and then I'm coming up here and
I don't know.
You've got the lights off.
Maybe I bore you.
It's not that. Trust
okay,
me.
so I do a fitness and nutrition live on TikTok every afternoon. Okay, so I'm getting on there, and here's what I'm talking about. I'm updating them about my situation, okay, about how I've had these procedures and now I'm shut down for 2 weeks to working out. So just like I told you all, so I'm adjusting my food because it's harder for me to control the portions of complex carbs.
Right.
It's harder for me to control that than it is the portions of healthy fats that I'm eating. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about me. So this guy gets on there and he goes, or girl, I don't even really know. It seemed like it was a guy, though. He goes, I don't understand why you're fat shaming people. You should be ashamed of yourself. Really? And everybody lit into him because everybody that was on there knows me. Or either they know me and know who I am and what I stand for, or they were listening to the conversation and didn't just hop on. But nowhere in my conversation could I get where he thought I was fat shaming people. I was talking about me and in my journey and what's going on with me.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
But people just trying to get your attention.
Well, he got my attention.
Right.
He got my attention because I'm not going to stand for somebody calling me out
You
for
should have
fat
been
shaming.
like, hey, fat boy, get off my life.
No, I would not do that because in my profession, I mean, there is no way ever that I would fat shame
I know,
anybody.
and it makes your job harder because I think there's, a certain level of fat shaming is very effective.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, man, people need to, it's not a pussyfooting world we got here. Everybody's, nobody ever feels bad about it. You know what I'm saying?
Give me that lighter.
And you shouldn't if you're happy with the way you feel and look.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you come to me and you want to change it, I think there's a way to do it. I don't think that you should shame anybody because
I don't either.
That's
I'm
not
kidding.
the way to do it. That's like
I just thought it was funny to say it.
I mean, yeah, you can be rough with people if they, but I mean, you don't have to fat shaming and being stern with somebody.
Well, I guess learning,
like saying, listen, you're unhealthy.
Yeah, that's my point. I guess it's not what I'm thinking about. Really, isn't fat shaming. Fat shaming is when you're belittling someone or making them feel horrible for something they.
Right. I don't think fat shaming is saying
it's shaming, and
look,
I was going another direction.
You are overweight and you have too much body fat and it's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for you.
It's not healthy.
I'm not saying.
Are you talking to me right now?
No, I'm just saying there's a way to go about it. Anyway.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know where that came.
You're always going to have those jackasses that jump in your lives and they gotta try to get to you somehow. So that's an easy way.
No, it's not an easy way. I'll never speak to that person again.
No, I know, but to get attention in the live, like to get noticed and get.
I mean, I guess
get attention.
You're not going to not get attention that way. Some people are like, "Oh, just ignore people." No, you're going to come in here and start talking negative
Ban
stuff.
that mofo.
So anyway, he was. Okay, so.
Kick him out your live.
I don't know what I was.
Jackarse.
We're
talking about pumpkins and like soup.
No, I was going to tell you about the Adelphia story. Why was I going? Oh, because I'm going to treat you to dinner tomorrow.
She's going to treat me to dinner tomorrow night. It's going to be
fantastic.
fantastic.
Oh, that's what I was going with it. Somebody called me a Karen because I was
spitting our food.
Because I was telling them about the story on my live today, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you went Karen." I kind of did, but I felt like I was warranted for it.
I encourage you to. I think that it needs, like you said, poor performance needs to be confronted. And we've had a couple of bad experiences lately, which is very frustrating because we've been going there for years, multiple times a week, I feel like, especially in the summers.
In the summer, yeah.
We go multiple times a week, and we usually have great experiences.
I'm sure that when I left, being their age and being my age, I'm sure I was called a Karen. And that's fine because I can see where my behavior fits that of a Karen because I'll tell you what happened. But you guys will agree with me that it should have been confronted. And I was nice about it, though. But I did ask to speak to the manager. And after I did that, I was like, oh my gosh.
I am a Karen.
But why does anytime you ask for a manager that make you a Karen? Because
does.
sometimes it's validated and warranted.
It is, but still.
Okay, so we walk in and they seat us right away, and it was like 12:53 or something like that, and they stopped serving brunch at 1. And the hostess sat us down and she said, I'm going to give you both a brunch menu and a lunch menu because you'll be able to place your order before 1 and get in for the brunch if you want to. Very nice and helpful. I was like, oh, perfect, because that's what I want to do. So we sat there, and it was shortly after 1, and I was like, uh-oh, I just missed the window. And so I started looking around for a waitress, nowhere to be found. It was kind of busy, so I was like, whatever. Well, the manager came over, because we know him, and gave me a hug, and he was like, how's it going? I was like, good. He goes, has somebody been with you? And I said, no, nobody's been with us yet. He goes, oh, let me go get your drinks. So we ordered a water and a Coke. He brought our drinks back. Menus are still on the table. And we proceeded to sit there for about 10 more minutes. And I'm not over exaggerating. You can ask Brooke. We were there forever. 10 more minutes. So this girl walks by. Waitress. Server. And I was like, excuse me, ma'am. And she looked. I was like, do you know who our server is? Because what do you need, buddy?
In the middle of a podcast.
We'll be done in a minute. Bye.
Yeah.
I said, do you know who our server is? And she said in a really rude tone, she was like, I have no idea. I just walked in the door. I was like, oh. And she kept walking. I was like, wow. And Brooke even was like, oh my. And I said, okay. So we proceeded to sit there even longer. Another 10 minutes or so went by. And even the table next to us is getting their food. And they're like looking over us like they know how long we've been there. And they probably can overhear Brooke and I being antsy about it. So I go to the hostess and I say, I'm sorry, we've been sitting here, you know how long, and it's 20 after 1 and nobody's taken our order. She goes, what? And I said, nobody's taken our order. She goes, oh, I'll go figure it out. And I said, okay, thank you. The same girl that gave me attitude comes and kneels down by the table and she says, nothing but, what are you getting today? I was like, well, I wanted to get brunch kind of because that's kind of what I came here for. And we got here in plenty of time, but nobody came to take our order. So I don't know if I can even get brunch now. Asking her a question. She looked at me, gave me this look. I couldn't see her face because it's covered by a mask, but I could see in her eyes. And she walked away. She didn't say, let me go get a manager. Let me go check for you. I am so sorry. We're just really busy. Make an excuse, whatever. No excuses. She just walked away and started serving other tables, bringing them their drinks, taking their order, walking right past me every time. And I was like, what in the heck is going on? Well,
she showed you who's boss.
I got up. No, nuh-uh. Well, wait for the end of the story. I'm showing her who's boss. So I got up after about 5 more minutes of being ignored by her, totally ignored. Went back up to the hostess because there was nowhere else to go. And as I'm walking towards the hostess stand, the waitress walks by me real briskly. She was like, you can have your brunch. I was like, okay. And that made me even more mad. So I got up to the hostess and I said really loudly, excuse me. I was like, you're going to have to, this is where Karen comes in. You're going to have to go get the manager because that girl right there, and I pointed to her, I was like, is being extremely hateful. And she looked back at me and she said, I said you could have your brunch. I was like, bet. And so the hostess even looked at me like with big eyes like, oh my. I was like, go get your manager.
I think she's PMSing.
I don't care. So the hostess left to get the manager. Brooke and I stand there for another good 5 or more minutes. And I just looked at Brooke and I was like, you know what? Let's just go.
Yes, the old protest.
And she says, we didn't pay for our Coke. I said, that's right. And we left.
Ooh,
and
risky.
We didn't. And I won't.
Free Coke.
So anyway, I stewed about it. And I understand that they were busy. And I understand that maybe she just did get to work. But there's like, what is the word I'm looking for? Couth? I always thought that word was weird. But like there's
professional courtesy.
Yes.
Like courtesy, like
your customer service basically.
What if tomorrow when we go in there for dinner, what if they freaking handcuff you because they're going to see on the tape that you stole a Coke?
I hope they do. I hope they do. No, so I stewed about it, and I didn't. I mean, I'm torn because I know she's somebody's daughter, and I don't know what's happened in her life. Maybe she found out really bad news that day. Maybe somebody in her family passed away, and I understand that. I get that, but you're an adult now. You're working. You still have to treat people, no matter what you're going through. You have to try to stop and treat people with a little bit of dignity. Now, have I done it before? Probably.
Yeah, but you pay a consequence.
You pay a consequence
right?
when you
do it.
People
come into your store or your restaurant, they're coming there to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
And they're paying to enjoy themselves. So have to fake it.
Have I gone off on a customer service representative on the phone when they were just doing their job? Yes, but you know what?
Of course you're caring.
They were just doing their job. I don't do it often. I really honestly don't. So I thought about it, and I thought, okay, I'm going to have to practice what my dad has always taught me, and you have to confront poor performance. You had poor performance today. It was above and beyond horrible. So I just got on
That's
Instagram.
What your dad said. That's how your dad says, pick a fight.
No, I wasn't picking a fight. No, you confront poor performance, because if this girl doesn't get confronted, she's going to continue to go through her work. I'm saving her right now.
You're saving her. You are the savior.
I am the work ethic police.
You are, and congratulations.
No, so I got on Instagram. I could have gotten on social media and bashed them, just like I am on this podcast right now. But I'm really not. I love that restaurant.
You're not. We love the restaurant. It's you're
the good people that work there.
Bashing the one person.
Great.
It's terrible.
So I get on their Instagram private message, and I messaged them. I said I told them everything I pretty much just told you. They got back with me promptly, asked me. They apologized right away, which is all I was wanting, and asked me where I sat and about what time it was. They were going to look at the tapes and watch what happened. They'll see how long I sat there. So he said, I'll get back with you tomorrow. He got back with me today. Long story short, he said that we are having a attitude meeting with our staff today, and I want to offer you a $50 gift certificate next time you come in. When do you think you're coming in? I said tomorrow. I wanted to say tonight. I almost said we're going to be in there later, but I didn't want to go in there tonight. I said tomorrow. We usually eat out on Tuesdays. A lot of times we do come to your restaurant. And he said, okay, give me your full name and we'll get you $50 to, to say we're sorry.
We're going to take shots. All $50 are spent on shots, and then we're going to fight their staff.
Hey, can you get Prescott out here? That's her jersey she had on. I just remembered.
Oh, she had a Cowboys jersey
I
on.
said, can you get Prescott out here? I'm taking shots off her belly. Probably not, because she's probably too young. But I hope she's there tomorrow.
Shots off her belly.
Just joking.
Oh.
It was a joke. I was trying to be really sarcastic.
I got you. Okay.
Gross.
Okay.
I was trying to be Jeff, but see, it doesn't work whenever.
No, was she hot?
I don't know. She had a mask on, Jeff.
She's her body to do a body shot off.
She's tiny. She looked like her body looks like she's 12.
Well, then you don't do a body shot off a 12-year-old.
Doesn't hold enough.
That's gross.
No, but anyway.
Doesn't hold enough. We need that deep belly button.
No, so I mean, I don't know. I want to make up with her. Because I don't like animosity. Because we go in there a lot. Now, have I seen her before? I've never recognized her. Long. She won't if she keeps acting like that. But, I do want to talk with her and say, look, if I got you in trouble, I'm sorry. But you do know that, you're being nasty. You have to know that.
See, now you're taking Karen to another level. You just let it go at this point. You drop it. Forget making up.
Okay, so I won't confront her about, you're being nasty.
Again.
But no,
she needs to come to you and apologize if that's the only way it'll happen.
All right.
Because then it's just you just won't let it go. You won.
I'm not trying to win anything. I'm trying to tell you.
Well, you did. Whether you're trying to or not, you did. And I'm very grateful for that, because I'm going to have a few beers on somebody's bad performance.
These candles aren't staying lit because I'm breathing and
you're getting all hot and bothered again.
I must breathe. I'm telling you, I have anyway. What my point is, I'm trying to say now is I don't like having bad blood with people, and I wouldn't want her to be in there and notice me and hate me. You know what I'm saying? I want to like you. I want to have a good time with you.
She's probably gonna hate you if she knows it was you.
Oh, well.
She's gonna wait on us, and she's not gonna know it was you until we say there's a gift card back there because you was a biatch.
That's why I'm not gonna tell them I have a gift card until it's time to pay.
That's right.
It is what it is.
It is, and it was a great experience. Getting the gift card part.
We had at the same restaurant. You can tell your story.
Yay!
Just last week, the same thing happened. Not the same thing, but another thing happened at this restaurant, and the waitress walked away from Jeff at the same restaurant.
It really, really bothered me. I have a problem with disrespectful people, but basically my story. Ange dropped me off for once because she drove. She picked me up at work. We went down to have a few drinks. She dropped me off. I got a table outside. The waitress came out and she goes, what would you like to drink? So I gave her your order. I gave her my order. She goes, I need to see your IDs.
Which never happens at this restaurant, ever.
Never, ever, ever. I go, okay. And while I was getting mine out, and she goes, and I will not bring her drink out until I see her ID. And I go, oh, okay. And And so I pull my ID out, and as soon as I hold it up, immediately she goes, "It's expired. I can't serve you."
It's expired. I can't serve you.
It's expired. I can't serve you. And I said, "Well, it's not expired because the state of West Virginia says it's good until this date. If it expired after COVID, after March, which mine did, and I've procrastinated and not got it renewed yet."
But it's still
regardless,
valid.
though, it's supposed to be valid. And I've had that conversation at so many restaurants where they're like, "Oh, you're good. We're good here until this date." And then you're not. So anyway, I basically grabbed her again when she came back out, and I said, "Hey, this is bogus. Anywhere we've gone, my license has been good. It's good till this date. Secretary of State, not Secretary of State, but whoever you call, DMV, said your license, you can't be pulled over, your registration's good, your license valid." And I go, "So can you not get me a drink?" And she just looked at me, turned around and walked off.
Well, no, I don't know if all that happened before I got there, but then I got there and sat down and I said something to her. I was like, "I don't understand." I said, "Just because it's expired, he's still 45. His birth date hasn't expired. His birth date hasn't changed." So
I've never heard of it.
She said
expiring, people turning you down because your license.
Well, they did
expired.
at Chili's that night.
That bitch she was doing it on purpose.
She was
pissed when she had to come out there and wait on us because
probably. Yeah. Well, this girl, she said, "Look," and okay, fine. I get where she's coming from. She says, "I'm new here. I don't want to get in trouble with the, what is it, ABC or whatever, and I don't want to get fined $500. And then that's when she walked away. I was like, "That's just crazy." And then she just turned and walked away from us. Now, I understand where she's coming from. Okay, fine. She's new. She's inexperienced. She's scared. I get it. Somebody's put the fear of God in her to always ID and always be picky about it. That's 100% fine. But what she should have done, instead of turning and walking away, "You know what, sir? I understand your frustration. I would be frustrated too. Let me go get my manager and see if he or she can help you." That's how you handle the situation. And then I'll be right back. And then you go get the manager and say, "There's a man out there that's really giving me a hard time about IDing him. I honestly think that he's definitely over 21, but can you go out there and help me?" Now, I don't know if she's trying to prove her point and like she can take care of herself, but it looks better on her and the restaurant if you just turn it over to the manager. That's what they're there for, to take care of stuff like this so she can go on and do the rest of her job. You know, but turning and walking away from someone is the utmost. And they're all younger people. No disrespect to younger people out here, because not all young people are like this. But wow.
Yeah, these kids,
it's crazy.
They need to learn how to deal with adversity. Because I wasn't ugly. It wasn't like I was being some crazy.
We were being a little contrary with her because we were trying to challenge her. We were.
But that's life.
It is life.
That's life, sweetheart.
So
I should have said. It's life, sweetheart. You're gonna have to learn.
Oh my gosh, don't.
You're gonna have to learn
If you called her sweetheart, I seriously would have freaking bent you over my knee and given you a spanking. But I did tell the guy in the message, I said, "You know what? It's okay." I said, "I was with my 17-year-old daughter who currently works at Chick-fil-A, and this was actually a good teaching moment for her because she even realized how out of control that was." I said, "Brooke, don't act like that girl ever at work, okay?" No, but she goes, "Mom, I would never talk to an adult like that." Like she said,
she was trained by Chick-fil-A.
She said,
man.
"I may go and talk to my friends behind their back in the kitchen." I said, "That's fine." She's like, "But I would never." She said, "People have downright treated me hateful at Chick-fil-A because we were out of mac and cheese." I just have to look at them and I apologize. And if it gets too bad, I go get my manager and he takes care of it. Or I just put an extra brownie in their bag and say, "I gave you an extra brownie." And usually that helps because we're in West Virginia and brownies help everything in West Virginia.
They help everything everywhere.
So anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on and on about, but I just think it's important to talk about, I've never been, there's probably people out there listening being like, why? Have you ever been a server? No, I have not. I have never been a server. I have worked in customer service, but I have never been a server at a restaurant. And I know that it's stressful and I know they don't get paid a lot, which is why we did that serial tipper challenge a few weeks ago.
That's
and
right.
we took up money and we gave a hefty tip. That's why we did that, because we know. And now we have daughters that are, of the age that most servers are. A lot of servers are college age kids, the first jobs, and they struggle, and I get it. But that doesn't give you a ticket just because it's a stressful job, and just because the people at the restaurant who you're serving might not be the nicest people. That doesn't give you the right to be disrespectful.
The girl with me was just moody because I tried joking around with her like I always do, and she wasn't having it.
That's why when you go to Adelphia, you ask for Bailey. She's the best one there right now.
We'll ask for Bailey tomorrow.
So that's my story. I just think it's important for people to learn, like, work ethic and not talking hateful to people. Like, if I was downright talking down to her, and she should stand up for herself. I think there's a point where it flips, and then you have some integrity, and you have to stand up for yourself.
Or you're
if
being
I'm calling
treated,
her names, but I was not.
No, you're asking to be served.
I would never do that. And plus my daughter was there, but I would never talk down to somebody like that anyway. No, I was asking her to do her job that she should have done like freaking 20 minutes prior. Anyway. So, there we go. Some people probably think I'm really mean right now.
No, why would they think you're mean? You didn't do anything wrong.
No, I didn't.
You're standing up for... I mean, you're the one that's got to go in there and get service and pay for something.
And you're paying for it.
You want to enjoy it.
And that's what makes me...
And we're not like really picky. We're looking like just to be accommodated.
Well, that's what I told the guy. I was like, it wasn't about... Because he said something about being crowded. I said, it wasn't about how long I had to wait. It really wasn't. It was about...
Acknowledge me.
Right.
I mean, that's all it takes is in any type of business. In my business, I might not have the answer, or I might not have, but I try to always get back to people and say, hey, I don't know anything yet, and I told you I would today.
Right.
But I don't, and I'm sorry. And you know what? Most of the time they go, that's all right when you think you have an answer. And I'll say, I'm hoping tomorrow. And they'll go, okay, just give me a call tomorrow.
It's communication.
But if I go, I just don't have the answer, I'll call them tomorrow, they get pissed. Yeah. Right? Because you don't at least say, hey.
Right.
Acknowledge them. Acknowledge they're important. Acknowledge that they're right.
Why is it, okay, I read this, heard this, saw this somewhere, maybe you told me.
Probably if it's something good.
I don't know if it's something good, but where did I hear this? And because I want to give the person credit or the source credit, but I can't remember where I heard it, so I apologize. But it seems like this isn't my observation. This is whoever's observation it was. Why is it that we can go to McDonald's and they get our order wrong and we will pitch a freaking fit? Like, we'll go ballistic at McDonald's because they put pickles on our burger and we didn't want pickles. But you go to a high scale restaurant and they don't cook your steak right and you're like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
I think it was Michael the other night.
Okay, was it Michael?
I'm almost sure it was.
Are you sure?
No.
I don't remember him
talking
talking
about it. We can ask him Wednesday.
I don't remember Michael talking about it.
Then I don't know who it was.
Maybe
it was Jeff and...
No, it wasn't Jeff and
Kristen.
No, it wasn't. I don't remember who it was, but it's true. When I think back on it, you can think of a lot of times.
It is true. It's easier
and the people at the high scale restaurants, they should be held to a way higher standard.
Oh, absolutely.
McDonald's workers are just people that are probably first jobs, or
the minimum wage.
Maybe they are.
You're not tipping or anything.
Have been out of work a while, and that's the only job they can get, and it's fine. But we can treat them like crap when they don't care about that job. But yet we'll go to a 5-star restaurant, and when there's a chef that's gone to school to do so, and he should be able to cook a steak to your order, but we're going to let that slide. Where did I hear that? I don't, but I think a lot of people do.
People probably do because they're uncomfortable. Maybe
I think a lot of people do. I mean, I have been a little snotty in fast food, but I also confront if we go to a nice restaurant and they don't cook my steak to my order because I'm about to drop $50 on this steak.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. I forget who brought that up.
I don't know. I remember it, though.
Do you remember it, too? Were you in the conversation?
I think so. I don't know if it was online. It might have been on... I don't know.
No, because we haven't been online forever. Oh, that's going to drive me insane. Well, anyway, I'm sorry.
Maybe it was in our chat room.
I'm sorry. Chat room?
Never mind. It was just a joke.
I'm sorry if I can't give whoever the credit is, but it is a good point.
Sorry, you're not getting credit.
It is a good point.
It's a great point. And if you find out it's you, just DM us or something.
It's like we treat people of... No, that's coming out wrong.
Yeah, that's going to come out
wrong. No, I don't mean it like that. Like society's standards. Okay? So you put somebody who works, and I don't think this way at all. But society standards would put people that work in fast food to a different level of people who work in a 5-star restaurant and are licensed chefs.
People are quicker to get ugly with someone that they feel like they might be better than.
It shouldn't be that way.
Which should be no terrible, more.
It is.
Right?
You shouldn't get on these fast food workers because, now we have one in the family. I've never worked fast food either. But it would just be like any job of someone who is younger, whether it's, at American Eagle versus going into, okay, let's do this. American Eagle worker versus going into like somebody, I don't even know, what is a high class? I don't even know because I don't shop. So like
Gucci?
American Eagle, yeah, versus like somebody who
Banana
works at
Republic.
Prada. No, like Prada or like something really high end. Why would you talk down to an American Eagle worker versus somebody who works at like Prada?
Because you're
or
a
whatever?
smart-faced punk if you're talking down to an American Eagle worker.
I think so too.
I don't know who would do that.
I don't either. I can't listen.
Well, it's not going to happen tonight.
I've gotten snotty with people in stores before because we can't lie. We all have been moody with people whom we don't know, and it's just because we are in a bad mood because something happened to us that day, and we're taking it out on somebody we don't even know.
I think it's natural.
I think it's natural too, and that might have been what that waitress was doing.
Maybe.
And if she comes to me and says that, I'll hug her and we'll be besties.
That's great. I can't wait to see.
All right, I'm just saying.
Should be very entertaining.
It should be. All right.
All right. Well, that was fun.
I hope I didn't seem too bitchy. I was just telling a story.
No, you didn't seem bitchy. Not
Oh
any
my
more
gosh,
bitchy than normal. I'm kidding.
Oh my! I'm gonna throw this hot wax on you.
Ooh. Now we're talking. All right. Channel that bitchiness.
Oh my gosh! All right, that's all I've got.
All right. We out.